guys! Please don't mind the giant glare from my light that's always in my kitchen videos. I have no idea what to do about it. Anyway, today we're back in the kitchen to make a very easy, apparently, Harry Potter recipe. So according to our unofficial Harry Potter cookbook, a good old regular baked potato can be considered a Harry Potter recipe. So if we check their source, which is Sorcerer's Stone, in chapter 10, the chapter titled Halloween, they're at the Halloween feast. It says, the feast appeared suddenly on the golden plates as it had at the start of term banquet. Harry was just helping himself to a baked potato when Professor Quirrell came sprinting into the hall, his turban askew and terror on his face. So even though Harry did not get to his baked potato that night, I am sure other students did, and I'm also sure that they had baked potatoes at other times for other meals at Hogwarts. So in a way, a baked potato can be considered a Harry Potter recipe. So let's roll with it. I personally like how it's something super duper easy that you can reference back to Harry Potter. So again, our cookbook gives some very basic instructions, and I have my baked potato currently baking behind me in the oven. So the effect I was kind of going for is making this not just a regular baked potato that you nuke in the microwave and call it a day, but I was going more for the jacket potatoes. They have those at Universal Studios in Orlando. So we were there earlier this year, and my husband and I split a jacket potato. And at the theme parks, of course, it's very expensive for a potato. Just one potato was quite pricey compared to what you could buy it for yourself. So not only is this an easy Harry Potter recipe, it's also an inexpensive one and comparable to something that you can find at Universal Studios Orlando. So if you happen to be at Universal Studios in the near future, you can look for that jacket potato stand. I believe it's still there, and it is outside of Diagon Alley, and I think it's green, like a little green hut, and it's actually closer to number 12 Grimmauld Place. So I'd like to make a quick note about this recipe, and well, maybe just a couple quick notes. So they call for potatoes, salt and pepper, butter, sour cream, plain yogurt for serving. So of course you can add to your baked potatoes anything you want. They have some pretty basic suggestions, and I think mine are also incredibly basic. So what I prefer to add and offer for my potatoes are butter, sour cream, green onions, broccoli, and I have 2 types of cheese. So I'm also coating the outside in butter and sprinkling a little bit of salt on the outside of the potato. So that is not what is exactly called for in our recipe. They say to slice the potatoes in half lengthwise and then to bake them. And then you can top them however you want, but I am doing more kind of what they suggest down here, like as an alternative for the hearty meal on its own, which is to bake the potatoes whole and then you split it and add what you want. So they kind of recommend scooping out the insides and then mixing it with things. I'm just going to kind of mix things into the inside of my potato. So FYI, this is a very basic recipe. I'm keeping it very basic, but I am tweaking it for how I prefer my baked potatoes. So our instructions in the cookbook say to cook our potatoes in the oven at 400 degrees for anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. So mine cooked for about an hour. So for the first half of cooking, you have it turned one way, and then I turned it for the other half. So it's technically the top and bottom of the potato, anything that touched the pan. The skin there is so crispy, oh my goodness. It's like kind of hard to poke through, but it is very crispy in those parts. It's a lot softer on all the sides, but just that top and bottom, woo, that is some crispy skin. Okay, I am going to cut into my baked potato. Let me get my fork. Oh yes, the potato inside feels very soft. Okay, so I'm gonna open it up as carefully as possible and start kind of moving around the insides. I Probably cut it open a little too wide, but I really want to be able to get in there. Look at that. Okay, now I'm going to add a couple of things. So, going to add butter. And please don't be alarmed at the amount of toppings that I add to my potato. It's probably like way too much to the normal person, but I'm not a normal person. I love a lot of butter and cheese and sour cream. I don't like to be chintzy about those things. Okay, so there's the butter. Now I'm going to add some cheese. Oh, we're getting messy. We're getting very messy, but I want to mix the cheese in at least a little bit so that it melts. Even if it just gets a little bit melty, that helps. And then I'll put a little more just on the very top to make a nice presentation. Then, to get healthy about it, I have some broccoli. Some sour cream. Well, it doesn't look too beautiful, but I bet it's going to taste good. And just a smidge of green onions. I'll put them right on top in the sour cream. Okay, and voila! Look at that huge jacket potato. This is for sure an entire meal right here. You do not need any sides or anything with this. This is your dinner all by itself. Okay, this potato is huge, but I figure that's okay because I knew that this would be just my lone entree, no sides or anything for my dinner. So I'm gonna take a bite and try and get a little of everything. I wanna see cheese, and I want a piece of broccoli, and I want a little sour cream, and a green onion. Okay, here we go. I can't imagine I'm not gonna like a baked potato. Oh yeah, that's good. Of course, I really like it. And now I'm gonna try a bite with some of that crispy outside skin that I rubbed the butter and the salt on, or skin, but again, for our recipe purposes, the jacket of the potato. That is such a difference. Typically when I make baked potatoes, I pop them in the microwave and I don't put anything on the outside, on the skin. I really should start. So even though our book specifically doesn't say to do this if you're baking the potatoes whole, I did it anyway because I thought it would taste better and more like what you get at a restaurant when you order like a loaded baked potato. And so yes, I baked it whole, but then I had added the melted butter and the little sprinkle of salt to the outside. If you don't like the skin, you're not out of luck. You can still have this very easy Harry Potter meal. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. So thank you for watching. I am going to help myself to this and then finish setting up my nice little kind of arrangement for my family for dinner tonight so that they can each have a potato as well. And I will talk to you soon. So I hope you enjoyed watching. I know this wasn't much of a complicated, or there's no difficulty to this Harry Potter recipe, but technically, according to our unofficial Harry Potter cookbook, this is a Harry Potter recipe, a jacket potato. So I'm gonna go with it and enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.